Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast for October 24th, 2025. I'm your host, the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined today by a very special group of people. Almost the entire original cast. All we're missing is Moon, but I got my man Fusion.
What up? Sorry, I was muted. I didn't expect to be first there.
Sorry. I got my man Bench.
Hello, I've escaped the gapes of Pokemon.
What? Okay, sure. And I got my man Dark.
Hey, how's it going?
Dark, you got to shout out Jack because he was the one.
Yeah,
who
I seen
brought
it.
you
Jack
in.
was like, "Get me in," because I was
Yeah.
the only one that played through Ninja Gaiden.
Hell yeah, man. And we got some big news here. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it. I'm excited to hear all of y'all's thoughts on it. Maybe not Fusion. Fusion's been a little talkative lately, but otherwise, I'm excited. Um, if you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are found. We're on it. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming. And also, review us. It helps us out a ton. Let's just jump into it. First and foremost, by the time we're recording this, a Halo Combat Evolved remake might get revealed in a couple hours, and we might miss that. So I'll just get y'all's thoughts on the record, before even seeing it. How do we feel about a Halo Combat Evolved remake in 2026, supposedly when it comes out? Maybe even later than that. What's kind of like the temperature around it? It's been rumored for a while now.
This has no reason to exist. It really doesn't.
Hey, I'm with you there. I
Keep in
I
mind-
share that thought exactly.
Keep in mind, like I understand why they're doing, but they want to put it to PlayStation. That said, you have the MCC, which has the entire Halo series, and if they can't port that for whatever reason, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition, which is also fucking fantastic with how they did everything. That was a standalone purchase at first. They could have just remastered that. Why are they remaking this game?
The big theory is that they want to put on Unreal Engine 5 as like a test bed for how they handle Unreal Engine 5, but yeah, I'm with you. I just don't really.
We're
find
about to
it
get like Halo
worth
Combat
doing.
Evolved for like 200 gigabytes for no reason.
Oh my god, yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm-
like 200 gigabytes.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they're doing this, and it also doesn't inspire confidence on the rumors of a big AI push within Halo Studios. So those kind of combined, it's like they made Halo Studios to be this powerhouse for their flagship franchise, and everything so far from before and now the rebranding isn't exactly inspiring confidence.
I mean, if you kind of want to like segue into it now a little bit, there's like the whole reports of everything that's been happening at Microsoft, and that's probably a big part to play with it. Not to mention everything that happened with Halo Infinite and how that team utterly botched the fuck out of it. It's a
Yeah,
like
good
it
game.
seems like this game is just caught in the crossfire of everything.
I will say,
Go ahead. Sorry.
as someone who I'm not as hard as the remake on you guys. Like, yeah, it probably shouldn't exist, but I mean, by the time this thing comes out, it will be 22 years old. And yes, it's in the collection, but it's not like a full-on remake in the collection. It's like more of a remastered. And I think they could do certain things in Combat Evolved to make it a lot better. Like, I played Combat Evolved again like 2 to 3 years ago. I forget when I put it in, replayed it again, and it was like there was multiple things in that game that I completely disliked. Like, to me, it's my least favorite Halo, which I know is controversial, but like there was a lot of stuff going back a few years ago and be like, no, this just does not even feel good enough, even in the Master Chief Collection. So it's like I don't think like we can't get mad at them remaking a 22-year-old game when we should be more mad about like PlayStation remastering remaking 5-year-old games. Like a 22-year-old game is old enough where it can deserve a remake, and there will be millions of players who never got to play it, either because they didn't want to play Master Chief Collection or they're just new to gaming. This will be the first time they're going to play an actual classic,
Or
especially the
PlayStation.
entire PlayStation outlet. That's going to be millions of players you put in there. My issue is it's probably campaign only at this point, no multiplayer, which seems like a big miss to me. And it's like it does not. I feel like Combat Evolved by itself is not enough for like Halo to get a spark in its system. There's no like you put out this remake and it's like sure you'll get some new players and I'm sure PlayStation fans will be happy, but it's like this doesn't feel like it's gonna bring back any old Halo players you want to come back or any like. It feels like nostalgia bait that won't work to me, and that's my biggest issue with the remake. But as remaking a 22-year-old game in itself, I have no issue with it honestly.
Now hold up, Fusion. Because I always be hating on Sony for like remastering games that came out like last fucking year. But my whole thing is just if it's only campaign, and I get why they're doing because they're doing this because the next mainline entry after Infinite is gonna take a hot minute because they're setting that all up. I wouldn't have minded waiting an extra year or two if they also did Halo 2 and 3 and also remade those. But 3 never got an anniversary edition, by the way. They
Mhm.
just completely skipped over it for whatever fucking reason. Even though it's like one of the more popular ones. If they would have done like a bigger batch and then have it be campaign only, I would have been more on board with it. Just like unless this game's gonna be like $40, which it might.
It might.
I don't know.
Microsoft
It's
is
probably gonna
kind
be,
of good with
What was
pricing stuff like that.
gosh, why am I blanking on the Elder Scrolls remake from this year?
Oh,
Oblivion. Was that $40? That was $40, right?
That was 50.
Oh,
It was 50.
I think $50 seems steep for like
I
again.
think
Imagine
40?
that game's like 5 hours long. So
Yeah. It tells me that's probably going to be closer to 40 then.
I think
Yeah,
40
I
with
could
no
see 30.
multiplayer seems more fair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll do 30, but like I agree. I would.
I mean,
probably
I could
put
see
it-
like because I say 30 only because obviously it's different, but like a Hi-Fi Rush was $30, and it's like
Also, keep in mind. I didn't mean to cut you off. According to what we're hearing, they're gonna be adding things like sprint and stuff to Combat Evolved. This game is not long to begin with. If you're gonna add sprint, it's gonna cut the game down in half. This game's gonna be really fucking short.
I wonder if they expand upon it like more substantially than that original what was it, anniversary edition. They go like even
Mhm.
deeper and it's like, okay, we're gonna make these levels a lot more expansive, a lot longer, add more replay value, get rid of the library, just remove it
I think
completely.
the funniest thing that they
The
could do is
library-
if they expand the library, that'd be the funniest thing.
no, they should just
It's like
cut it
5
from the
more
game.
floors.
But like the problem with some of these levels, there's like a handful of good ones, but some of them are just like cubes repeated kind of throughout the whole level, like the library. It's
Yeah, I
like
mean,
I
Bungie-
wouldn't mind if they take a more creative approach.
Yeah, Bungie themselves even admit it's like, yeah, we ran out of time and we basically had to just kind of create something like the library. It's like they go back to those developer commentaries and they're like, yeah, we're not proud of this. This was a bad level. So even if Bungie themselves, I almost feel like that's a blessing of, yeah, go ahead, change these levels, change the level design a bit to be more accommodating and be more interesting instead of just tubes of nothing.
One thing I do want to bring up because I haven't really seen anyone take this take. They're bringing the whole series to PlayStation. Well, at least I hope they're bringing the entire series, not just one title. If they do Halo 2 remake, right? If this does well and they do Halo 2, I would like to see the levels that got cut. And if you don't know, Halo 2 had like
Yeah.
half of the fucking game is missing. That
Well,
game-
that's a big
that
thing.
game-
It was like,
That game is already like ginormous, but like there's a lot missing from that. If they can do that'll be like, hey, that's a really good, you know?
yeah, Halo 3 was basically just the stuff that was cut from Halo 2. Like that was like kind of the complete story. And that's why literally Halo 2 ends on like I'm gonna finish the fight. Because it was like, oh, they didn't finish it.
I think they said
needed to
what? It
finish
was
for
like
3.
5 or 6 more
Terrible
missions
ending.
that got cut from Halo.
Yeah,
2.
like 7. It's,
Yeah,
it's a
it's
decent
up there. It's a decent amount.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Dark. I don't know if we ever get the rest of the series on PlayStation. I think they just do Halo 1 and it's like, okay, whatever the next Halo is, you play that.
That's
Like
why-
Halo Super Infinite, whatever the fuck they call it.
That's why I was thinking
But-
like it would make the most sense just to bring the MCC without the multiplayer because hey, you get all the campaigns, you can play through them all, and that'd be a good value. But you're getting like, what is it, like 7 campaigns or whatever the fuck?
Oh yeah, it's insane.
So
I think it's ridiculous that we don't get the multiplayer though. I'm right with Fusion on that. Where if you're gonna remake the game, remake the multiplayer because I feel like that's what got a lot of people in love with Halo in the first place.
the thing with, have you guys played Halo 1 multiplayer? That thing
I've
is
never
so
played
broken.
any Halo
It
multiplayer.
is so broken. The multiplayer.
But that's what people want. I think
Yeah.
that's the thing. Halo fans want just the thing they love and remember to come back in some way. And it feels like they kind of screwed over this IP so many times. It's like, guys, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I think
it should be easy. I should be able to make a Halo 1 remake more easily at this
I
point.
think that they're kind of treating this like how they did Modern Warfare 2 remake or remaster, because like they didn't bring the multiplayer back because like if you changed anything, it would have like ruined the whole flow. But at the same time, there was a lot broken with it, so it's kind of like you're in a weird situation. So they just skipped it entirely.
I think it's
The
similar to
rumor-
the Gears remaster. Like the last Gears remaster didn't have multiplayer, right? That was campaign only.
Yeah.
No, it has
no,
multiplayer.
no. That had
No,
multiplayer.
Oh, it had
it had
multiplayer. Oh yeah,
multiplayer.
I remember. I guess I remember the rumors of it wasn't gonna have multiplayer, so I guess it did end up having multiplayer. So yeah, ignore me.
And I will say the rumor for this is Virtuos, right?
Yeah, Virtuos is
And we know
co-developing.
that the Virtuos and Unreal Engine 5 combination hasn't exactly been sunshine and rainbows. And there's really no excuse.
Honestly, at this
Kind of.
point with Virtuos, I suspect it's less them with Unreal Engine 5 and more that they're taking on like 80 projects. I mean,
Yeah, but
they released 2 games this year. It's kind of insane.
there's just no excuse to kind of, if this comes out and isn't like runs well, looks well,
Yeah,
it's
100%.
Halo 1.
Exactly. I mean, that's how I felt about MGS3 and Oblivion, where it's like, guys, this should be running perfectly. These are like 20-year-old games. Like, what are we doing
I
here?
think for Oblivion, maybe you can make the argument, but like not Metal Gear Solid 3, because that is a linear game. But like,
Yeah, it's a
obviously,
10-hour game.
yeah, obviously with like Oblivion, there's like so many like systems that but even then it should have ran better, even if it didn't run perfect.
I
Yeah,
feel like
exactly.
Oblivion is probably the best Unreal Engine 5 game we've gotten yet
No.
so far. Off the top of my
Not
head,
even
at
close.
least. Off the top of my head.
Claire Obscure was Unreal Engine 5.
Oh shit, it was. Never mind.
Yeah, that game has zero flaws. I'm talking about from a performance standpoint. There's hundreds of games
Yeah, that's what I'm
that
talking
are
about.
better.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was Unreal Engine 5. My bad.
Yeah,
say correct.
I don't
there's
know
a lot
about
of them out
that.
there.
I watched a video where the game stuttered. So
Yeah, I had some issues with.
you Claire Obscure fans. You got to calm down. You lost this one.
I actually did have some issues with like the visuals of the game, not like overarching visuals, but I thought like a little bit of stutter, a little bit of kind of the cutscenes. I didn't think looked great. Like they kind of looked off resolution wise. I don't know if that was maybe artistic or.
I mean, okay, now we're talking about Claire
5.
Obscure. There's a whole other conversation. But I mean, to your point, Dark, I think like Unreal Engine 5 in general, like performance wise, has overall been rough. It is weird that there's like just 1 or 2 games where it's like, oh no, this runs really well. Like even Silent Hill F, I think ran for the most part pretty well, but even I noticed there was some pretty bad stuttering at points where I thought at first it was like a memory leak. It's like, nope, that was actually the game. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, I think probably Claire Obscure is the best running Unreal Engine 5 game.
Split Fiction.
Oh yeah, that
Split
was
Fiction had zero issues. Hellblade 2, 0 issues. Even though the game's 5 hours long, that's one of the best looking games ever, and that's Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah,
there's plenty out there. It's just people don't realize how much is actually Unreal Engine 5. You only hear what game's Unreal Engine 5 when it's not running good. So it's like, you're like, oh, that game with Unreal Engine 5 is not running good.
My take of Unreal Engine 5 is just based off of the game size. If it's like 100 gigs plus, I'm like, yeah, it's probably Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, honestly, at this point. Well, we will see that Halo Combat Evolved remake very soon, or maybe this weekend. Who knows? I'm curious to see what it looks like. I don't know how heavily they're gonna remake it, but as we've discussed, I think we're all like pretty intrigued by it at the very least. Let's get into the actual news. As you said earlier, Dark, we're gonna transition into Xbox, which let me tell you guys, this is gonna be like a minuscule news week, and then Xbox just kept talking. And I have here the bullet point Xbox corner, 4 different headlines. I'm so sick of hearing about Xbox, but hey, guess what? That's the news. PlayStation and Nintendo are twiddling their thumbs, just like, let's just release a game and then fuck off. Xbox is like, let's release a game and then just talk about random bullshit. Thank you, Xbox. You make it a lot easier to set up a news week. So about our first headline here, Xbox dev kits. Shinobi put this up. It was a Verge report. Xbox dev kits increasing in price 33% from $1,500 to $2,000. The adjustment reflects macroeconomic developments. We remain committed to providing high-quality tools and support for your development efforts. This is stupid. I don't know how you want more games to come to Xbox if you're going to make it prohibitively more expensive to put games on Xbox. But I'll just say now, I think this is going to lead to a lot more games just outright skipping Xbox. Now, I say that. A lot of people already probably bought their development kits, so I think the AAA games are still going to make it on there. But the more indies titles, I would not be surprised if at the end of a indie thing is like, oh, PlayStation, Switch 2, PC, and nothing else. Because it's like, why would I buy a dev kit? It's not going to sell on there anyways.
Yeah, I mean, for Xbox as a company that does try and prop up smaller creators. This is kind of a bit of a slap in the face to them, especially aspiring ones, because this Xbox is only going to be around for about another year or two. And then the price isn't going to go down for their next, especially with it being a premium device that we'll get to later.
Yeah.
So it's going to be even harder to get smaller creators invested in the ecosystem when they're not going to make as much money because one, they're not, items just don't sell well on Xbox, and it costs more to make. So I agree that things might skip it.
Gonna say, I mean, I
Sorry,
agree.
my mic got
I'm happy.
muted.
No, again, I'm happy that you brought it up because I haven't seen any outlet bring that up. Where like even I watched the whole Kind of Funny Games daily on this, and they never once were like, we already have so many indie and like AA games skip Xbox because it's not worth it. Now it's like definitely not worth it. Like you're not going to spend $2,000 on a dev kit with your small indie game. That $2,000 for you is probably a lot. That's a lot of money to be like have to put on this console. It's just not going to be worth it, as you said. Where it's like we're going to see more games skip this, and at this point, it is. I know Blessing and Greg brought up. They were like, this just sounds like this entire week has felt like they're just sunsetting the Xbox Series generation. Like this entire last week has been like a whole thing of like, hey guys, this is it. Like the next year, 2 years is like all you're getting from the Xbox Series X and S. Like so they're putting all these last minute things out there to be like, okay, we're raising prices because less fans are going to buy, so they're trying to squeeze as much as they can at the very end here before they announce their $7,000 console.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you guys. It just feels like it feels as if like they kind of gave up on this generation and they're like, okay, this was a wash. Let's move on to the next one. Which the Xbox One was kind of a wash. And it's like two in a row does not look good. I mean, hey, guess what happened to Sega? They had two bad generations in a row. And I am of the mind that the next generation of Xbox is the last one. And as we'll get into later, I don't even know what that generation even looks like. Actually, it's our very next one. Let's just transition right into it. Shinobi also brought this. The next Xbox will be high-ended, curated, teases Xbox president Sarah Bond. The next gen, this is a quote, next gen console will be a very premium and high-end curated experience. You're starting to see some of the thinking we have in this handheld, but I don't want to give it all away. This was Sarah Bond doing a lot of interviews about the ROG Xbox, ROG Ally, whatever the fuck it is. I mean, listen, it's very clear that they're just making a PC. And they're making a PC with an Xbox logo on the front of it that allows you to access Steam, that allows you to access the Microsoft Store, all that good stuff. I don't know where their profitability comes from this thing. I think maybe they're going to try to bank on selling the actual console at a profit, but that's going to require it being probably $1,000 plus. And I genuinely don't know if in this economy and in this console business, that $1,000 plus device makes any sense. Now, I say that, but there's actually getting me more and more $1,000 plus devices lately, so who knows?
Well, and with Xbox and like the PC comparisons, like they're probably not expecting this new device to sell tens and tens of millions because look at like a laptop or a PC, they're not selling those numbers, but they're still produced. The problem with Xbox is they still are trying to cultivate an ecosystem because they're not, as far as we know right now, there's not going to be a third-party store on this Xbox. But they're also going to have to convince devs to want to support something that maybe 15 to 20 million people or less have, and they're already going to be a niche, smaller game. So like you said, they're probably going to choose to skip it, which in the end will kill the brand and ecosystem.
I will say, let me jump in there real quick, is from that perspective, this is actually probably better for Xbox. Because if their console is just a PC experience, that means as a dev, if you're making a PC game, you're making an Xbox game, if that makes sense. Like, you're not going to have to buy the next Xbox dev kit if the next Xbox is just a PC, because you're just going to just like how PC devs have to optimize for all types of hardware because everyone doesn't have the same PC. It would be just like that. It'd be like, okay, we're just going whatever the Xbox specs end up being. If it's mainly just a PC, it's just going to fit as it's going to be the same as my PC, just different. If that makes sense. So I think from that perspective, it's actually going to be better for devs not skipping the next Xbox. But it still doesn't fix the issues of your average consumer wanting to go into the store and buy a console. They're never going to buy this thing.
Yep. I mean, this is just It's a weird situation for Xbox. I feel like we keep talking about like, oh my god, are they going to be around? Are they going to still be selling consoles? Yada yada yada. And I feel like as they keep making more headlines and more price increases and raising the price on Game Pass, especially, was the big like kind of bullet to me of, damn, I don't know if we're gonna have. I don't even know if we're gonna make it to this next generation. If they're gonna say, "Fuck it, we're third party, we're all encompassing." And I think especially with our next headline here, we think maybe Microsoft wants to put that as from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Microsoft pushes Xbox division to hit higher profit margins. Management's goal of 30% profit margins for gaming has led to job losses, canceled projects. Oh man, I'm mixing up my words. Microsoft Corp is asking its Xbox gaming division to produce profit margins that are well above the industry average, ratcheting up pressure on its video game makers during a difficult time for a field at large. Excuse me. Over the past 2 years, executives at the Seattle-based software giant have set a across-the-board goal of 30% accountability margins, a term Microsoft uses in lieu of profit margins, according to people familiar with the business. The gaming division, which includes dozens of studios, has responded by canceling projects, raising prices, and slashing thousands of jobs, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing non-public information. The average profit margin in the video game industry in recent years has ranged between 17% and 22%, according to estimates from Global Market Intelligence, while coming in between 10% and 20% over the past 6 years at Xbox. Court documents from 2023 revealed that Microsoft's gaming business had a 12% profit margin for the first 9 months of the company's 2022 fiscal year. The new goal, which hasn't previously been reported, is at the outer range of what a gaming studio can typically reach in a boom year, said Neil Barber, an analyst with S&P Global. A 30% or better margin is usually reserved for a publisher that is really nailing it, Barber said. And it goes on from there, but I think that's the main point, is effectively they're going from a profit margin that was more comfortable and easier to hit for the brand to a massive scale increase of the last 2 years that I think, we've been theorizing a lot that, Xbox is basically turned into Microsoft Gaming. Microsoft has a bigger hand on the business as a whole. And it seems that they want to have these much more ridiculously high profit margins because in their mind, they want to try to get the money and invested into stuff like Activision, Blizzard, and Bethesda. And I just think as a whole, I just don't necessarily think this is a good look for Xbox as well. And I think Microsoft is paying attention to kind of the decrease in console sales, the decrease in Game Pass subscriptions, and are like, what are we giving you money for? Why are we giving you money when it necessarily isn't giving us the money we asked for in return? And I am of the mind the 30% profit margins is fucking ridiculous. It is insane. But also, at this point, it's like, you guys aren't growing, and yet you keep asking for stuff as if you are growing.
Yeah, it's very much that thing where for a decade there, or for a long time, Xbox wasn't like a giant profit for Microsoft. Like they were just down there chilling, doing whatever they wanted. Like they were losing money, but Microsoft never cared because it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
What changed is when they spent $85 billion on acquisitions. When you went and got Bethesda, and then you went and got Activision and Blizzard, and you brought all this money. You spent all this money that you weren't bringing back in, and the Microsoft's like, okay, guys, we own Call of Duty, we own 77 studios, we own all these IPs, we own all these franchises. We're now raising what you guys have to do. And I still think 30% is obviously unfair and ridiculous, and that's just people at the top not realizing what gaming is. And it's like, no, Xbox shouldn't really be blamed for it. But this is some consequence from going out and spending $85 billion on everything they did in the last 5 years. Like, you can't spend this money and not bring money in.
I don't really think it's that. I feel like that's the easy thing to point to. I think the big turning point was when Xbox became one of the top 3 sellers for Microsoft. And that was like more like not even that long ago.
But they only did it because they brought in Call of Duty and everything else.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get those crazy sales just off of Call of Duty like that. That was already like a long thing that's been like they've been working up towards. I think the main issue that's happening now is that okay, they made it to the top 3 sellers or whatever it was at the time. And then Microsoft came in and like, okay, we're taking over now without knowing what they did to get them into that position in the first place. So now they're just doing whatever the fuck they feel like, thinking that they know it all when they don't know jack shit, it feels like. And that causes the big divide. Because it feels like a lot of the people that made that pretty much kept Xbox alive today are not really the ones calling the shots anymore, and you can feel it with a lot of the shit that they have going on.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, at this point, it's like Amy Hood and Satya Nadella have taken the helm of the entire Xbox organization, and especially with their push to AI, more and more Satya always tweeting about AI. It's beginning to look more and more like,
I
yeah,
hope the whole
it's
AI
not.
bubble pops like dramatically. I really do.
Oh, I do
It's
believe
good.
that eventually happens. I mean, AI is not making money. That's something that needs to be noted. It's like all these companies are investing into AI and it's still losing them money. It is still not profitable. And maybe eventually it does become profitable, but by that point, so many billions have been lost that maybe they're completely kaput in general. And I think this AI bubble is going to burst, maybe not relatively soon, but in the next few years for sure. Let's move into our next story.
Real quick, I'll push
Oh,
back
sorry,
a
go ahead.
little. I wouldn't say all AI because like Nvidia is where they're at because of AI.
Oh,
Like,
no, yeah. I want
yeah.
to specifically state generative AI.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Not,
'Cause,
not all
because,
AI
like,
is bad.
yeah,
The
Exactly.
AI can be used good somehow.
Yeah, I always have to specify generative AI is the one that I don't like specifically, but like AI has been pushed in actually very positive ways that I think a lot of people aren't noticing as well.
Mhm.
Let's move into our next story. Also in the Xbox room, God bless. Shinobi has this exclusive games are antiquated, says Xbox President Sarah Bond. Same people evolve way past locking down to one device or store. Biggest games in the world are available everywhere. And there was like a whole interview. And I watched a bit of this. And it sounds a bit more closely that Sarah Bond's basically stating that stuff like Fortnite, COD, like the big juggernaut, like massive live service games are the ones that she believes shouldn't be exclusive. And yeah, I don't think that's a crazy thought to have. It is like I don't want to say a bad look or a weird look, but it is something that's like, oh yeah, you guys did just release Keeper, and that is technically exclusive to the Xbox. But I think it's pretty clear. It's like Xbox moving forward is just going to be releasing their games everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't really care for exclusivity. Like I feel like most people don't really care at this point either because just get a PC and everything comes to PC eventually. Like
And you say
I
that,
don't know.
but so many people just bought a Switch 2 and over like almost 6 million, like 3 million almost bought Pokemon.
Well,
on it.
yeah, but also give it a couple years and then switch to emulation becomes a thing, and then you can play it on PC too. It's just the whole
Yeah,
thing.
but
Like
no one's gonna play it. No one's emulating, or like very small
That's
group of
it's
people.
not a
Yeah, I
great
know.
example.
I'm
That's not
just
the
saying,
wider scale.
I don't really care personally for exclusivity. I just think games should be everywhere. But and I think that's the direction that the industry is heading towards, and I feel like Microsoft sees the writing on the wall because they see the shit early as fuck and they always jump on it, and people like they criticize them, and then it happens, and they're like, oh okay.
Well, that's the
That's
problem.
why I
They're always just
disagree.
too early.
They're way too
That's-
early a lot of the time.
that's-
I feel like that's where we're
that's-
heading, but yeah.
That's why I disagree. I think exclusives could not be as big of a deal later, but I think the reason Microsoft jumped away from exclusives is because their games weren't selling and they weren't making money.
I don't think it's just that. I just think we're just moving away from it in general.
But no one is
Because a lot of the
really
games that we
showing that
have
but
now,
Xbox.
Yeah,
a lot of the games
no
we
one
have now are
has-
just trying to replicate the big games that they mentioned, like Call of Duty and Fortnite
But
and this, that, and
the
the third.
only non-exclusive games are Xbox because they've been struggling the past 3 years. So I just don't think it's I think it's a little crazy to say exclusives are going away. Maybe PlayStation goes to PC, but they're not going to go to Xbox or maybe even Nintendo. It's
PlayStation's
like,
been going to PC for a hot minute now.
but
This
it's,
isn't nothing new.
I
He
know,
more
but
so
I-
means day and date.
yeah, day and date.
I
But
feel like that's
just
not
don't
even that
think
far away
exclusives
either.
I don't think exclusivity is going away anytime soon. The only reason we think it is because Xbox, a company who's struggling, is moving away to make a profit.
Yeah, I mean Xbox
opinion.
had Starfield be exclusive. It didn't work out well for them, and they're like, actually, exclusives are bad.
Yep.
And it's like I don't know. I'm just of the mind that like I don't think exclusives are going to go fully away, especially with Nintendo around.
I
Like
feel like
that,
Nintendo's the
truly
only one's not going to change. But
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
obviously.
Sony eventually will probably do it. And they've already been doing it with PC. I feel like day and date's not that far off.
Yeah, I
Didn't
mean,
they
day
just
and
say that
date
it was
PC is
a
crazy.
little ways away? Like they kind of just reaffirmed that
I
it's not gonna,
mean,
which I do stand by. I think it's going to come eventually, but you're never going to see a PlayStation game launch on Xbox because it doesn't make sense for them to do financially.
Yeah, day and date PlayStation on Xbox will never happen. I mean, by the time they actually do day and date PC, Xbox is long gone.
It's just
We
gonna
will
be a
see.
PC at that point.
God bless Xbox. We're done with the Xbox news. Everybody take a sigh of relief. We're done. We can
Finally.
talk about interesting and cool companies. Actually, next company is not interesting or cool. Square
Wow,
Enix.
wow.
Stealth 40K brings this up. Nate the Hate believes that if Final Fantasy IX Remake was in development, it's probably on ice. He's not sure if Square will come back to it. Famously, this was one of the last games on the Nvidia leak that happened a few years ago, where stuff like Kingdom Hearts 4 eventually got announced, but FF9 Remake was always the one that was like sitting there. And it seems Nate's of the mind that this thing does not exist anymore, or at the very least, like it's just kind of put on ice.
I'm going to stand for my FF9 brothers and declare that Nate is wrong.
You've said
It
Nate
might
is right
be in
every
s-
time.
It might be in some development trouble, but this is by no means on ice. It is still happening. It is still coming, and I believe.
This is a weird situation because we have Nate who's been right in most things. And then we also have the Nvidia link, which has also been right in literally everything. Having
Yeah,
two
but
opposing sides.
To
I feel like
take
it's still a
Nate's
thing.
to take Nate's defense, the thing about the Nvidia leak was that it was like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
2021, I
I,
want to
I
say,
don't.
and they very easily
Every
could have changed plans
single
by now.
thing in that leak came true.
Yeah, no,
I
that's
think
the thing. I think the game was real. It's just very possible that they were like, it's not working out. Let's cancel it, or let's
Listen,
put it
Not
on
only
ice.
that,
I think it exists, and I also don't think the Nvidia leak means much because they're just going to have that data, and things could get canceled. That's kind of how things
not
work.
only that, but
However, I
recently-
don't think it's on ice. I think it's happening.
recently in Square Enix projects, they've been pushing Final Fantasy IX hard a lot as of late. And it's kind of like we're around the time where the remake should be like getting announced soon-ish, within the next year or so, and they're pushing FF9 hard. I feel like it's still a thing, but I don't. Honestly, at this point, I don't even know anymore.
If I'm
Fusion,
wrong,
you're the
but wasn't
tiebreaker.
Nate also wasn't I could again correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Nate at one point say like the remake was finished but they're sitting on it? Or am I crazy?
No, I think that was
Listen.
a different game. I think it was
Okay.
Tactics.
Okay, it might have been tactics, but it's a thing of like I swear we've heard about how Final Fantasy IX is coming
Yeah,
every
but that
single
was
year
from-
for the last 4
Who
years.
was the Sega guy? The Sega leaker.
Midori.
Yeah, Midori was the one that said that FF9 was finished and they were sitting on it.
Okay, well,
Oh.
Midori was pretending to be a woman, so I don't know.
At the same time, Midori wasn't really wrong with their leaks.
That's what I mean. They were accurate, so it's like
They were
that's
accurate.
what-
Like, we're giving a lot of conflicting things about this damn game.
That's the
It's
thing. Is
happening,
that
is what I'm hearing.
I think everything was real, and then Square Enix working on the game is like, this isn't working out. Let's put it on
they
ice.
pulled a Square Enix and they were like, actually, we don't like money. And they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That is the most Square Enix move they could possibly do.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, it's so fun. This saga with the FF9 remake. Maybe one day it does eventually come out. Maybe it is just permanently on ice. Who knows? But
I hope it comes because like I've been genuinely excited for a remake of this game. Like I've always heard how good Final Fantasy IX is, so it's like I've been waiting for it to get revealed. But it's like the longer we go, the more I'm like maybe it isn't coming ever. And it's
It
like,
feels
okay.
like such an easy move too, because FF9 is like unanimously within the community one of the better Final Fantasy titles that most
Fusion.
people enjoy.
I could tell you this, Fusion, as someone from a very educated place, is that I think the people who say FF9 is their favorite are the ones that think it's too popular that FF7 is the favorite. So they're like, oh no, actually
No.
9 is my favorite.
9
You know,
is really
it's-
good.
No, 9
Yeah,
is
it's
good
not-
when
it's
as a
no 7.
standalone. It's pretty good. Yeah,
We all
7's
know
not the fucking cash cow that everybody wants it to be. That's getting a 3-part remake.
Hey man, part 3, 2029.
But
Eight?
we'll be-
I don't
think
know.
Probably
it's early,
7.
I think it's early 20. I think it's 2027.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let's move into our next story. This one I just got to point and laugh at. Shinobi, but this Krafton announces AI first corporate transformation. The company is investing $10 billion to automate its work around agentic AI.
AI
to
centric.
AI, whatever. To develop AI centric management systems, R&D, HR, creative activities, etc. Let me tell you guys. You read the article. Oh man, they are AI. It's not even like oh yeah, we're dabbling. It's like, no, they are like, this is gonna be, they're gonna replace the KR in Crafton for AI. It's gonna be AI Upton. AI Upton? I don't
Let
know.
me just
They're they're ridiculous. It's stupid. It's what I was saying earlier about the AI bubble. They're gonna be in for a rude awakening, and let me tell you, there's not going to be a lot of good Crafton games coming out anytime soon. So let's hope for Hi-Fi Rush 2 can survive it.
let me
This
just
really
say,
sucks is where Hi-Fi Rush went.
$10 billion is such a ridiculous amount of money. You could get so many hyper talented people and make something so fucking amazing with $10
But let's spend
billion.
it on AI.
But let's spend it on AI instead. What is the thought process?
Dude, the fact that Tango just can't catch a break, it's like, this is your new owner? Oh, man.
Like, you
It
can make
sucks.
a
I don't even
masterpiece
know.
of masterpiece with $10 billion, bro.
Exactly.
Like, you can make like 30 Spider-Man 2 games.
It's insane.
You can do a lot with $10 billion. They're just like, well, let's just make AI video games. It's like, I mean, there is like a 5% chance it works and it pays off, but like,
I feel like it's
you're
closer
taking
to
a,
like 4.
I mean, you're taking a big jump here. And it's like, I'm just
Exactly.
hoping, I just hope for all the devs' sake there that like, it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, I hope the devs are like not getting their jobs taken from AI and they're like okay with what's happening, which I'm sure they're not, but I don't know. It's just not looking great over there.
I do love the image that Shinobi used for Krafton because it's like, PUBG, Callisto Protocol, and then 4 games I've never heard of. And I don't know if you guys have heard of them. It's Defense Derby,
Nope.
Moonbreaker,
Have heard of that one.
Dude, I've
okay,
never even seen these games before.
New State Mobile, and I have no clue how to say the last one. It's like an ARND, I think. It's cursive. I haven't taken cursive in like 20
It looks like
years.
and. I don't know.
We took cursive in kindergarten, and then they were like, okay, no more cursive. Like, what the
What
fuck?
is it, Anna? It could be Anna.
No, because that's not an A at the end.
You sure?
Maybe it's AMA. Oh, man, actually. I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't think it's a very successful game. He has a gun that shoots bubbles. I thought about Foam Stars. Remember Foam Stars, guys?
Shut up.
That was a game of all time.
Let's move into our last story. Pokemon Legends. We got some sales statistics. Legends EA has sold 5.8 million units worldwide in its first week. About half of sales were on Nintendo Switch 2. I found it interesting that like half of the sales were on Switch 2. It tells me that Switch 2 adoption rate is a lot stronger than I assumed. And also it seems like very much that Pokemon these cross-gen releases are really benefiting from being on both platforms because you get the people who want that big Switch 2 graphics version and the person who's like fine with just playing the Switch 1 version. So, hey, I mean, it's doing very well, and yeah, for good reason. It's a great game so far. I do want to check what was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So I'm going to search that up real
I
quick.
think it was
If you guys have anything
high
to say about.
70s because the performance dinged it. Like all
Oh no, I'm
the
not talking about.
reviews were-
I'm not talking about reviews. I'm talking about sales.
Oh, let me see.
So sorry,
Yeah.
side note. That girl, it is Anna, and she's from PUBG. So I don't know if she's getting a
remember-
game or what.
PUBG's getting a spin-off?
PUBG has a lot of
Scarlet and-
spin-offs in development.
Scarlet and Violet was record breaking, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, okay. It says here 10 million units worldwide within its first 3 days. So, and I mean that's a mainline game. It makes more sense.
Yeah.
Those are just going to sell better, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. I do imagine this is going to have a pretty long tail and probably sell more
yeah.
than Legends Arceus.
Mhm.
Let us move
Also
in.
helps first year of the console going to be marketed
Yeah.
like that.
A lot more hype around it, especially. Yeah. Have they? I feel like I remember they announced a bundle for Switch 2 with Legends, right?
Yes,
Yes,
they
I
did.
think so.
I think so. Yeah. Not sure. Well, shout outs Pokemon. You made a good game. Good job. Let's move into our reviews of the week. First and foremost is Ninja Gaiden 4. We're going to talk about this a bit more deeply later. It's the whole reason we even brought Dark on. 82 on OpenCritic, 8 out of 10 from IGN, 4.5 out of 5 from Gamer, 8 out of 10 from GameSpot. Pretty overall, lots of 7s and 8s. That's kind of the range we're looking at. It seems people are very into it. This is exactly what I think a lot of people were expecting it to be. I'm interested to hear Dark's thoughts later. But yeah, seems like they kind of did it again. Shout outs to Team Ninja, shout outs to Platinum. I'm wondering how this is going to sell, especially. Next one here. This is for me. This is solely for me. And this is for my game of the year. Power Wash Simulator 2 gets an 84 on OpenCritic. Now, let me tell you, I think the reviews weren't paid off. Because the fact that it's an 84 and not a 100 tells me that IGN was mad that their check didn't clear. So I'm just going to say that real quick. I'm just putting it
agree
out in
with
the
you.
ether. Yeah, okay, thank you.
GameSpot giving it a 7? Come on.
Okay, how is it a 7? I'm turning off the character for a second. Genuinely, how is it a 7? What are you expecting? I don't know what they're expecting. I gotta read that review later and get mad at it. But 8 out of 10 from IGN, 4 out of 5 from Eurogamer. Overall, people are very positive on it, of course, because it's one of the greatest games of all time. I'm very excited to jump into it soon. Already came out, which shout outs to them. It was weird because they announced the release date literally the month of. And I don't know why they waited so long and left us on fall 2025 for so long, but now it's here, so shout outs to them. Next one, Dark, this is one that we're mad about. Plants vs. Zombies Replanted, 77 on OpenCritic, way too high. But 7 out
Do
of
you
10
want to
from
talk about this
IGN.
briefly? Because I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
I want to talk about it. Let's talk about it, because this is fucking... The shit about this game is insane, because it is the easiest thing in the world, and somehow EA screwed it up.
so get this, because this is what really pissed me off. When they were showing off like some of the new editions of this game, they were showing off how they had concept art, or they were showing concept art. Turns out the concept art that they are showing in this remake, remaster, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is fake concept art that never existed before. That they used AI to make.
It's insane.
Wow.
It's insane. It's actually insane that you can't even get like a real concept art book, which probably exists, but they're like, nah, let's just use AI. I don't get it. This feels like the easiest slam dunk in the world, but for some reason, Plants vs. Zombies fans just can't catch a break when it comes to this franchise.
I heard, I don't know how true this is, but they are making Plants vs. Zombies 3 for mobile devices.
Yeah,
And this is just a simple cash grab for to bring people back into it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think this is going to sell any well, considering how badly they screwed it up. It should be easy. It's Plants vs. Zombies. Why do you make it look
How did you
so
fumble
hard,
this?
EA?
I don't know how you fumbled this. Really, this is.
You fumbled it for over a decade. It's the easiest thing.
I literally went back to the original. I had a great time. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I look at this. I'm like, I'm gonna load up the original because that's an all-timer. Last one is Outer Worlds 2, sitting at an 83 on OpenCritic, 8 out of 10 from IGN, 9 out of 10 from Game Rant, 4 out of 5 from The Gamer, 8 out of 10 from GameSpot. People seem to be pretty positive on it. But according to Bench and Fusion, not positive enough.
Whoa.
Because the equivalent of an 83 to them is a 66.
No, what do you mean for them?
66.
I was
For Bench,
expecting
I'm
it to
playing
be-
this game literally next week.
I was expecting it to be in the 85 range.
And to be fair, 83 is 3 points higher than the last time I saw it. It was an 80 for a long time.
I think it was 79 on Metacritic when it first.
It was, I would say it was a 79 also at one point. So like,
Yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
it continued to go up, which is good for it.
Yeah, no, I think
I
review codes came in late for it, which is interesting.
mhm.
What were you gonna say, Ben?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I am excited to play this. Not day one, but before the end of the year. What I have read looks good. I just thought it'd be better.
This is around exactly what I thought, like low 80s. It just made sense, but I get what you guys are saying. I'm not playing this. I was gonna say I'll probably get to it by the end of the year. I'm not playing it. I gotta be real.
You had your Obsidian fix. You played Avowed.
Yeah, I did, didn't I? I keep forgetting.
I forgot I played that one.
I liked that game, but I just forgot. That was a February joint. Let's talk about one more thing. And that's the Circana best-selling games of September 2025. You guys know the rules. You're going to guess, try to see what's on the list. Usually this ends with one of us being angry. So let's see how this goes this time. We got the top 20 best-selling games for September of 2025. The reporting period was August 31st to October 4th.
Okay, NBA 2K.
NBA 2K is number 2.
Call of Duty.
NHL.
Oh, sorry, Dark, did you say something?
I said Call of Duty.
Oh, Call of Duty is it not on the list?
Oh shit.
Could be
Wait,
because the new one comes out.
Call of Duty washed. I don't see it on the list unless I'm
Well.
stupid. And you said
Minecraft.
NFL?
NHL. And
Oh,
NFL.
NHL. Oh, NFL is number 5. I gave you that one. And then NHL is 12.
Borderlands.
Okay.
Yeah, Borderlands
Border-
4.
Borderlands 4 is number 1.
Oh shit!
Your favorite game of all time, Dirk?
I did play through it, by the way.
Oh, nice, dude.
Oh, okay. You can talk about it in a bit.
You don't have to.
Minecraft.
Minecraft is on the list at 15.
GTA.
Mario. I would say Mario Kart.
GTA is number 17. Mario Kart, I don't think is on the list. But that's 'cause
Really?
what's a bundle?
I guess.
It's a bundle and they
Yeah.
don't sell digital.
Mm.
Or they don't count digital because
I would say okay.
No. So it's only physical copies of that game that would be recorded on here, and that's just not going to be a lot for
Donkey
Mario Kart
Kong?
World. Donkey Kong
Oh,
is
that's a good one.
18.
18.
18
That
for
seems low
Donkey
for
Kong.
some reason.
There is a Mario game on here.
Is it the other Mario Kart?
Kart.
It's not Kart.
There's a Mario game on there.
Well, think it. It's one that came out this year. You guys remember?
I really
I
don't.
don't
Is it
remember.
like there was a
Maybe
no,
this should
that was
be
announced.
I'll tell you this. This is counting early October. It goes to October 4th.
Oh, Galaxy.
Yep, Galaxy 1 plus 2 is 14.
Nice.
Again,
Be
just
proud of me,
physical,
I
which
got
is
that.
pretty insane. Yeah, seriously. Bench is washed, man.
I know he's not even speaking about it.
He's scared.
FIFA, but it's not FIFA anymore. It's FC.
FC is 3.
Did we say Ghost of the Ote?
Ghost of Yote is 4. Which, for 4 days, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good.
Good game.
Silent Hill. How good? Silent Hill F sold pretty well, right?
It did. It is at number 7. This
We
number
got, like,
7,
probably half the list.
dude. Number 7 for a Silent Hill game is
Yeah, I was
fucking
about to say,
awesome.
that's
I'm
actually high.
so happy. I am so happy to see Silent Hill kicking ass.
I did very So
College football?
College football is on the list somewhere, I think. Well, maybe it's not. Oh, it is. It is number 11. Oh, and you guys aren't gonna get it. The kickoff bundle is 19.
oh yeah, we'll never get that. I don't know what that is. Okay. What else came out recently?
FF
Okay.
Tactics?
FF Tactics is number 9. Really good for that game. I'm actually
Yeah, that's
shocked.
actually really. Sonic, the racing one.
Yeah, say the full name and then I'll give it to you.
Sonic Racing.
Thanks.
Crossworlds.
Yes, the Sonic Racing Crossworlds is number 8. I knew you had it in
8?
8, yeah.
They be selling like that?
It
That seems
sold.
crazy.
We recently heard from Sega. It sold 1 million copies.
Like for the top, if you get like top 10 ratings, I feel like you sell 1 million, right, or something like that. At least.
Yeah, that's usually it. Yeah,
Oh well, then Metal Gear.
Metal Gear is number 10.
Oh, good for Metal Gear.
Yeah, still sticking on there.
Dang, okay, we're missing.
you guys
some.
are
We're missing what,
missing-
like 5 of them.
Expedition 33.
This
Hell
guy,
no.
this freaking weirdo. These Expedition fans be like, "Oh, is it on the best selling?" Nobody played that game.
I don't
No,
think it was ever on the
nobody.
best seller.
Kepler thinks they're really cool and they don't count digital. It's like, come on, you're not.
Oh
Nintendo.
really?
Yeah, for some reason, I don't
Oh.
know. It's stupid when Nintendo doesn't count digital. It's even stupider when you guys do it. I don't know
Gosh.
why.
What's that? I'm blanking. It's like Pokemon, but it's not.
Oh, you're close.
Digimon
Someone-
Time Story?
doesn't
Digimon
sound right,
Story
but-
Time Stranger. Number
Okay.
13.
What is that title, bro?
Damn, bro, it's on there.
Dude, it's actually
Shut my
crazy
door.
that it's sold that
People
well.
really
I mean,
liked it.
yeah. I have like
What
this
are we-
deep-seated dislike for Digimon that's not even fair. And that's just because it's not Pokemon. And I'm like, you guys think you're so that. And it's
It
also
was
because
fair to say it's like Pokemon, right? I've never like played Digimon. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's like
it's
they
not.
want me to go through this 40-hour RPG with these little creatures, and there's no Pikachu. Like, what am I supposed?
what I'm
What do they
saying.
want me to do?
Also, a lot of it is because Death Battle back in the day did Charizard versus, I think, Agumon or whatever, and Charizard lost, and I was so fucking pissed. Like, that was, like, the worst day of, like, 6th grade me. I was like, fuck
You're like,
this.
this is not real.
I was so pissed. It's like, Charizard is better than that. You guys
how
are
many
missing
are
a
we missing?
couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, like, a few. Let's check. Okay. Oh, best-selling game 2024.
Helldivers.
Helldivers 2 is number 6.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it's
Well, it
still
came to
selling.
Xbox. It came to Xbox.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
Xbox. Yeah, Xbox definitely helps. Hang on, and then Came this year to PlayStation. It was a big deal.
Forza.
It was on other platforms for about 4 years, and then it finally came to PlayStation this year.
Forza?
Yep, Forza is number 16. And then Rockstar. You already said GTA 5.
Red Dead.
Yeah,
Red Dead.
2.
Red Dead 2, number 20. Last month rank, number 20.
Dude, it just holds on. It just
Yeah,
stays
it's
there.
so funny. That is crazy that Rockstar just always perpetually has 2 games in the top
That
20.
is kind of crazy.
About
It's like
half
Red Dead
three.
2 specifically because it's like there's not like you're not playing Red Dead 2 online, so that's mainly people just getting it to enjoy the story.
Yeah, it's a good
One
ass
of the best
game.
stories
So
in gaming.
I think that's
all-time.
the best we've ever done for that.
Yeah, you guys did
I think
really
we got
well.
all 20. I think.
Well, okay, I mean, I had to help you.
Well, yeah,
way
you
more
helped,
than
but I feel like we got
But-
we got to like the 16
got
range,
most.
which I feel
You
like
got
pretty
like
good.
you got like 15 on your own. Bench was silent, bro. He was
Yeah, I
like
don't know what he
sitting
was
on
even
his
saying.
phone. He was like, "Oh, I don't know." Oh, NHL.
Did we wait? Did we say Minecraft or was Minecraft on there?
You
I
said
did.
Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So some interesting things I want to jump out at. Borderlands 4 at number 1. You guys surprised by that?
A little. Well, I don't
forgot
know if
that
I'm
game came
surprised,
out.
but I'm
It came out at a
surprised.
good time.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's above 2K. I guess.
That's the more surprising thing. But yeah, Borderlands always sells extremely well. Ghost of Yotei, like we said earlier, Fusion number 4, that is extremely good for a game that was on the market, like of the recording period, like 2 days. So that means most of that is its day 1 sales.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. And it's crazy. Like Take-Two have 4 games on that list.
Yeah, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're right. Exactly 4. Kind of, yeah. I mean, it says a lot right then and there. It's like Take-Two just perpetually selling a lot of their games at a very steady volume. And also, I mean, pretty insane that Final Fantasy Tactics is in the top 10 because I thought that would have been more niche, but it seems like people who said they wanted Tactics weren't lying and they actually went out and bought it. So shout outs. Can't wait for the Square report that says it was disappointed.
It only sold 1 million and not 7.
Oh man. I do think you're right about like the top 10 is usually like a million sellers for most of these games. Because I know Silent Hill F, the first weekend, it was 1 million.
Yeah.
And that's number 7. Sonic Racing Crossworlds recently hit 1 million. So maybe it's like the top 7 more like. But yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
think
interesting.
at least for new games, I feel like if they reach the million mark, they'll be on there.
Yeah, and it should be noted, this is dollar sales, not like units sold.
Mhm.
So usually the new games are gonna reach higher because of that. But yeah, shout outs, Circana. I always love doing that. It's a ton of fun. Let's talk about what we've been playing. Boys.
Can I ask real quick? I don't know if
Yeah,
you,
what's
I
up?
don't know if it's on that list. If what's the best selling game of the year? I think it was like to this point. I think it was 2K, but I don't know if that was true.
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it
I
was
have
Monster
the
Hunter.
I have the best selling games of the year here. No, right now, NBA 2K26 is the best selling game of the year.
That's kind of crazy to me.
That is weird.
I mean, it
It's-
just came out.
The list is interesting in general because number 2 is Monster Hunter. Number 3 is Borderlands, already at number 3. Number 4 is College Football. Number 5 is Oblivion. And then number 6 is Call of Duty. And I know a lot of Call of Duty sales happen in like the first kind of like 3 months of its release. But it is interesting that Call of Duty is down to 6. And I feel like by now it would have been the top 3.
Yeah.
Black Ops 7 is probably going to increase the sales by a magnitude, though, you'd have to imagine. But yeah,
I think-
shout outs.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I would think so, but also Battlefield's selling a lot. So
I also
A
found it
lot.
really. Yeah, Battlefield's doing insanely well. I mean, that's going to be really easy next month when Battlefield 6 is number 1. And I do find it also interesting. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is at 11 for like best selling games of the year so far. And Night Rain is number 9. So it's pretty interesting that those
Oh,
games are
wow.
still holding on pretty heavily.
that does surprise me actually, especially Kingdom Come Deliverance because I feel like that's so.
Yeah, you'd think it's
niche.
more niche.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout outs, love Circana reports, and Matt's actually back. He's caught up again, thankfully. So about what we've been playing. First and foremost, I want to just update on Pokemon Legends EA. Bench finished it. I'm ranked C or ranked D. What is that, like halfway, Bench? Oh, he's gone.
Probably a little above halfway.
Okay, okay, I would say you
Wait,
waited a while.
I thought you have to get the
No.
A. C's only halfway.
Well, yeah,
There's a little bit of a jump.
yeah, they jump you like
Okay.
5 levels at one point. But yeah, I'm overall enjoying it quite a bit. I think this is a very strong evolution on what was happening in Legends Arceus. I'm really into the active time battle more than I thought it would be. It being more so of a kind of MMO style of combat that I think actually befits Pokemon pretty strongly. I don't think I want turn based to go away necessarily, but I would like some of these elements to be kind of explored even further in whatever the next Legends game is, or even if they decide with like the next mainline game, it's like, hey, we're gonna add some more like real time stuff. Like maybe the active time battle gauge from Final Fantasy would be pretty cool
Yeah.
for a Pokemon game. But yeah, in general, I'm really, really digging it. I got a pretty strong team. I like the new megas revealed. I didn't look at any of the megas before the game came out, so I've been actually consistently surprised by what Pokemon are actually having new mega evolutions, and it gets me excited to use them on my team. And overall, like I think they really nailed it. It's a very fun city to explore, Lumios. I think I'm just a little disappointed. Like I do wish we could have explored more of Kalos again because I do like Kalos, the
Mhm.
region. But otherwise, this is a very good game. Definitely, it definitely runs very well. I'll say that. At least on Switch 2, it runs very, very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I've rolled credits a little over like 42 hours, and I did everything. Got all the Pokemon, got all like the Mega Evolutions, which is kind of difficult, especially the last one. And I really enjoyed it. I'd give it probably an 8.5. I think some of the story stuff is a little cringy, especially towards the
It's
end.
they talk
Like
so
the
much in this game.
not even the talking. I mean, there's a lot of fist bumps. A lot of fist bumps.
Oh, so
And
I kind of like the fist bumps. It's corny.
y- they turn
As,
it to 10 in the
as someone
last
who
one.
hasn't played it, it reminds me of the Death Stranding thumbs up.
Oh yeah.
It's worse than that.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because like the fist bumps don't even like intersect. Like they look weird when they fist bump. It's very funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like what Wolf echoed, I really enjoyed the gameplay. I think it kind of loses its luster in the end game when you just one-shot everything, but it's
Hmm.
still like just very enjoyable. And just collecting the Pokemon is very fun. I think the Lumio setting is very good. I kind of like a Yakuza Light is what I thought going in, and I feel like that's what I got in the end. Different like organizations throughout the city that you're getting involved in, like the random battles happening throughout the city, and then kind of the side content, which I did all the side quests. There's like over 100 of them that are just like little stories within the town. Some are tutorial likes, but some of them are like diving into like a Litwick, how they absorb life energy and stuff. Like kind of the kind of things about Pokemon that are only Dex entries normally, kind of bringing them in as side content, which is very interesting. I really enjoyed it. Like I put a lot of time into this game in a while, in a short amount of
Hmm.
time, because of just the constant reward and gameplay cycle of do the rogue mega battles, and then you're gonna open some side content will open up, and then you'll have this ZA Royale. Just I really enjoyed it. Definitely
Hmm.
one of the better games I've played this year, and I think it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I mean, I think they overall did a good job on what they needed to do with this game, and that's just make a
Hmm.
good follow up to, what a lot of people, Bop and myself included, would say is one of the better Pokemon games with Legends Arceus, and I think this is a strong evolution. Do you like it more than Arceus? I mean, I know you just beat it.
No, I definitely prefer Arceus. Like Arceus is in my like top 25 of all time. I think I prefer like the kind of theme around Arceus of like trying to complete the first Pokédex and how you do
Mhm.
that, but they're like very much the opposite of each other and
Yeah.
how they do everything, which I think is interesting. Like it really gets me excited for the Legends series. Like originally after the first Legends game, we thought they'd kind of build on Arceus, but I like how it just Legends is a way of for them to revisit regions that never got the full shine on like how their legendaries and lore were kind of played out in a way that like is very unique in a way that they couldn't do in the mainline games. Like you're
Yeah.
revisiting Kalos and seeing like the Zygarde story that was literally never explored in X and Y. And then how you got Arceus and the two legendaries more evolved in the Arceus game. So
Yeah,
I
you could
think it's
actually
very
catch an
interesting.
Arceus.
Yeah, I think it was very interesting how they're going back and kind of revitalizing plot threads in these games. And for like ZA specifically, it is a sequel to X and Y in every way, shape, and form. It takes place canonically after X and Y did. some of the plot threads are due to X and Y's events, which I honestly didn't expect at all going in, which I thought was very fun.
Yeah. In general, I think I'm very satisfied with this one. It's more than I expected it to be, which is a
Yeah.
very happy compliment for it. I do think
Agreed.
the game is a little talky. That's like one of my main things.
Mhm.
Of when
Yeah.
the dialogue isn't that interesting and they talk that long, and it's always like, let's do a strategy
Yeah.
meeting. It's like, guys, we know what's gonna happen. I do all the work and you get all the credit. Okay, like let's just get on with it. But overall,
No-
very strong.
Mhm.
I'm enjoying it a lot.
I know you guys touched on it slightly, but is this the most polished Pokemon in recent years?
Oh,
You
easily.
would say? Okay.
Especially
you thi-
because like it's on Switch too, though.
I
That's
would
the
say,
main
do you
thing.
think it's
Mhm.
more so that it's just because of the new raw power of the Switch 2, or is it because they actually spent their time to optimize it?
I think it's half and half
Column
in
A,
both
column B.
cases. Yeah,
Okay.
because like I do think overall it is a lot. There's stuff that like you normally would notice them like, oh, okay, this is the type of thing that would just look bad. Like Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet Switch
Mhm.
2 patch. It made the game still looks ugly. Like very ugly.
Mhm.
This looks a lot better. It looks a lot cleaner. Colors are a lot less saturated. It doesn't have that weird ick to it. And also runs at a very clean 60 FPS, no hitching at all, which is very surprising. I was thoroughly impressed by that.
And
But
this is
I'm curious what the Switch 1 version looks like, honestly.
this is personal belief, but I am in the camp that the Pokemon Company heard the feedback from Scarlet and Violet, and I don't think that's going to happen again.
I mean, that was an interview that was even stated. Like they came out and
Yeah.
said, it's like, yeah, we know there were issues with Scarlet and Violet, but it's always that thing of like, okay, what you say versus what you do. And
Yeah.
what they did was make a very polished Pokemon game. It's shockingly polished.
Agreed.
And listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say like it's perfect. The game could definitely
Mhm.
look even better, especially with the budgets
Yes.
that are allocated to these games. Like you can definitely put more money with how much profit you gain out of them. But from what I have here, there's not much for me to complain about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good to hear. And it's probably, I could be wrong, but I assume this this just takes place in one city, right? So maybe it was easier
Yes.
for them to like work
Yes.
with the city compared to like this whatever Scarlet and
'Cause,
Violet
like,
was.
you don't have to do the terrain meshing,
Mhm.
mountains. Like that's really what looked really ugly in Scarlet and Violet. The actual cities looked fine in that game, so that's probably helps a lot. That's what makes me very curious about Gen 10 because there's also the idea of like, is it even going to be an exclusive to Switch 2? And I think that's going to make that's going to get me really excited if I see it's like, hey, we're making exclusively for Switch 2.
Well, that is the leak rumor is it'll be Switch 2
Okay, cool.
only.
Let's move into. Let's talk first to Dark Corner. You've been playing Borderlands
Corner.
4 last year.
Ew.
I just want to get because you weren't here for Borderlands 4. Do you have anything you want to say about that game as a big Borderlands guy?
So to know, everyone that knows me knows that I actually I despise Borderlands 3 for what they did to the series. But Borderlands 4 did surprise me in the sense that it feels like what Borderlands 3 should have been. It feels like a proper sequel to 2. All the feedback, and there was a lot of feedback from 3 that they did listen to. And it feels like a really polished game. And it surprised me because I was going in there expecting this thing to be like fucking dog shit. I think right now the biggest problem Borderlands has is just Randy. If they get rid of Randy and replace him with somebody else, I think they'll be a whole lot better. But
Yes,
It's
has to have
it's a
dirt
really
on Strauss.
he has dirt on somebody. I don't know who he got dirt on. He got dirt on somebody. But it's a really solid game.
That's
And
awesome to hear.
the humor is more. It's not as quite as 2's, but is more in that direction. And they played it really serious. It's not a stupid story like 3. You're not gonna get annoyed. And all the characters and everything are really
Streamers.
fun. That was horrendous. They
Right,
really
So
did listen to
you
everything.
played it behind their back after you refused it off for so long.
I didn't refuse it off. I was just busy.
You said you were never playing it. You said multiple
That's
times,
not
I'm
what
not
I
playing
said.
this game. It's never happening.
This
Then you
guy,
played it.
Dark, it's always the morals that go out the window when it comes to him, man.
But yeah,
But I'll ask you, Dark. What do you think of the? Because I was hearing like the story's a lot darker. Is that like a SpongeBob on the roller coaster darker, or is it actually?
I would put it like
darker.
there's darker themes, sure, but it really is like like these games are never really like too dark. Besides like when they kill off a character, but like even
Of
then,
course.
it's like the SpongeBob roller coaster darker. Like you're still going, what you're getting into when you play one of those games.
That makes sense. And the gunplay, the guns and weapons.
The guns are great.
all
The
top of
guns are
line.
great.
That's usually
the
the best
the
part of these
replay
games.
value is there. That said, I am waiting to see how the DLC like balances it out because the DLC does do a lot for the series. But as it stands for like just the base product, it's really good.
That's awesome to hear, man. Hopefully I can jump into it soon. That's a Black Friday pickup for me.
Yeah,
That game
100%.
looks really good. But also you've been playing Ninja Gaiden 4, just came out this week, as we
Oh man,
stated
I
in the
loved it.
reviews. Hell yeah, let's hear.
So I'm a big fan of combat hack and slash games like Devil May
There with
Cry,
you.
and since Devil May Cry finished, we haven't really had anything, so this kind of like took back the spot. So the biggest question I had was like, because this was Platinum doing it, I was like, can Platinum kind of like replicate this? And they
Mhm.
did. In my opinion, I feel like this feels better than any of the previous Ninja Gaiden games, just in terms of like the flow
Oh,
and everything
wow.
of it. Yeah, it's really fast paced. It feels like what Ninja Gaiden 3 was trying to be, if that makes sense. And they just
So
nailed
like
it here.
more set PC.
No, not that part.
Because the
no,
Ninja Gaiden
like
3 was
it's
mostly
like
set pieces.
it's like 2 but faster. It's a
Oh,
lot
okay, that makes
faster.
more sense.
It's 2 that you just kind of like sit and wait a little bit. No, this is a lot much more faster than 2. The difficulty is there, and they really up the boss fight. The boss fights feel similar to Souls bosses, where you have to memorize patterns, you have to wait for openings, and that was a really pleasant surprise. I was gonna give the game a 9 outright when I was playing through it. And when I was playing through it, I was DMing you like the whole time because I knew you was also interested in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That being said, there is some drawbacks, and I'm gonna just put this as like this is their first attempt at doing this because I do feel like it's clear that the series still has legs to stand on. I feel like the series is definitely back. That said, how they handled Ryu is kind of a travesty. The new character
yeah.
and all the new characters that they introduced are great. Even though like the new main protagonist, like he doesn't have that much personality to him. He's kind of just like Ryu mini, pretty much.
Mhm.
I feel like they should have like gave him like more personality. But all the new characters are great. It's all of the old characters that they really sidelined. Like you can tell they did not want these guys in the game. In an interview before the game came out, people asked like what would be like the split between the characters, and they said 50-50. There's 19 missions, and Ryu has 4 of them. And out of those 4 missions, 3 of them are repeats of old missions, and then the last one is just like a boss fight.
That's amazing. It's very much the Devil May Cry 4 thing.
But getting more into that with Devil May Cry 4, the difference was that Nero and Ryu had 2 very different playstyles, and Dante's was like the more high end one. Like his skill ceiling was a lot more higher.
Yeah.
In this game, they made Ryu slower than the other protagonist, Yakumo. And he wasn't as fun to play as. Like they're really like sidelining the shit out of him in this game.
That's weird.
Yeah, like he has everything, but compared to Yakumo's, like it's night and day. I do feel like I feel like they did set up more. Like the story, by the way, is like it's okay, it's passable, but no one really plays these games for the story.
Of course not, yeah.
I feel like the best that they can do going forward, but I do feel like there's gonna be more, is give Ryu a more distinct playstyle. That's not just like a speed difference. Like give him something unique to him that only he has. Besides the Ninpo, that's the only real difference. And then add the other characters because this game had a what the fuck is her name with the pink hair?
Akane?
Yeah, Akane. They had her in there for 2 cutscenes, and she did
That
like
sucks.
nothing to the
I'm
plot.
angry.
I'm like, and she looked amazing. I'm like, okay, maybe something happened. She does literally nothing.
I'm upset.
But outside of that, the game was really good, and it surprised me.
That's awesome.
I gave
No,
it
I
an
mean,
8 just because of the them reusing missions. I feel like they could have done something better. And I feel like Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was made for the sole purpose that they knew Ryu was really not inside this game, so they had to put something out to like satiate the fans. But yeah, I am excited to see where the future goes with the series. Because Rage
No,
Spawn
that's
was
all.
also really good too, so they all like spinning off and trying different things.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like exactly what it needs to be, which is just a follow up to Ninja Gaiden 2 specifically, which, though that was always my favorite Ninja Gaiden. So to see basically like, hey, we're taking a lot of those lessons and, speeding things up, making things a lot more different. That's really awesome. I am a little disappointed by how Ryu is handled because that's my fucking guy. But
I feel like that's
everything
gonna be
else
the
does sound
biggest gripe that most people have with the game is how Ryu is handled. Like he gets really sidelined. And they
Yeah.
sidelined him in the story too, but in a way that's respectful. I'm like, okay, maybe they do the same thing gameplay wise. Gameplay wise, with Ryu, because with the main character you buy upgrades, like with points that you get. Similar to Devil May Cry. With Ryu, you're going through the old stages and you have to open chests to get his moves. I don't
That's
know
weird.
why they decided to do it. It is really weird.
Bro for Gar.
You just forgot how to do stuff.
No, that's awesome. I mean, it's fucking weird, but yeah,
I
I
think
don't
the
know.
biggest
They have this
standout
whole
though,
thing.
if you want to compare like something brand new that they had, is really the boss fights. They really went all out on them. Especially the second to last boss fight is probably the best in the series.
Okay,
Let me ask you this: as someone who's never really played Ninja Gaiden like this, does the game do enough to like invite new players to want to play
Yeah,
it? Because
100%.
okay, because like I've
You don't need to
been
know
thinking
anything.
about it, but I also have been like I just keep seeing the combat, and I feel like again I haven't played Devil May Cry, so I don't know exactly, but it's like the combat every time I watch it just for some reason isn't hitting. I think it's like it's way more fast than I expected. For some reason, when I thought of Ninja Gaiden, I was like more tactical, like a Souls game. But every time I see gameplay of this game, it's like going at a million miles per hour.
It's more Bayonetta, more like
Yeah,
really
it's
fast action.
similar to Bayonetta of how fast it is. That said, if you never played one of these games, this is a good jumping point because you have a new protagonist. They kind of just treat Ryu as like this legendary figure, which pretty much that's what he is. Like he has like no personality to him. He's like a fucking board. But so you don't need to know anything from the past. They handle it fine. One thing you should know if you never played one of these games before, it is difficult. Like you will get your shit rocked, and you will die a lot. That
Mhm.
said, they balance it in a really interesting way. So you'll never get stuck in a mission because when they have checkpoints. But if you die too many times, there's a character that's part of like the new character's like plan. He'll give you like first of all, if you die, you get all your items back. So if you use any healing items, you're gonna get them all back. But he'll give you like respawn items and a bunch of other stuff to like revive and shit like that. So you'll never really be stuck.
Oh yeah, that's good enough.
I mean, it sounds like, hey, we made another banger Ninja Gaiden game.
Yeah,
Everything
it's-
from like the story being bad, it's like when I hear the story is bad at a Team Ninja game, I'm like, oh man, we're in for a banger because I love that team.
The story is not bad, but it's kind of just like a nothing burger. Like you can tell like within the first like 2 hours like exactly what's going to happen.
I'll ask you this: does it have as many funny moments as Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin?
No, I don't think
Okay,
anything's gonna have more
Yeah,
fun.
that's true. Man, I'm still waiting. Let me get a sequel to that because I want them to come back and say, you know what?
We fucked up. We need to make 2 more of these. Oh yeah, it's awesome. I mean, shout out to Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm glad that this franchise came back in a big way this year, and I'm excited to see how this game sells. But hopefully, gonna jump into it by like Black Friday time. That sounds about right. Which
Yeah, that sounds like a
you
good
think
time to play it.
This game's like kind of makes it worthwhile to spend the money, or is like just get Game Pass? It's better for that.
This being part of Game Pass is great. It really comes down if you like games like Devil May Cry. If you like it, it's 100% worth a pickup. Honestly, I say it's worth picking it up now if you like games like that because there really
Oh, okay.
isn't anything like that on the market anymore since Devil May Cry is seemingly dormant now for whatever reason.
For some reason. No, that's awesome.
Five
to
did
hear.
so well, and like Capcom is literally writing off the sales off of 5, but
No, because
we're stuck on this now.
because he had to make Dragon's Dogma 2. I was like,
Who
oh
asked
no,
for that?
Wow, I forgot about that game.
10 million sales, still sold well, which is funny.
It reviewed really well. It's awesome.
Let's talk about Ghost of Yotei. Fusion, Bench, you've been playing it. Fusion, you finished it. Your final thoughts, how are we feeling about this big game?
Yeah, I finished it almost a week ago. I think it actually was a week ago. I haven't played the game since then.
Damn, washed.
Yeah, so I did finish it up last week. It took me 47 hours, and I got the platinum. So like I've done basically
Okay.
everything I could for the game. I really enjoyed it. I remember the first time talking about it on the podcast, I was talking about like I really think this game like it's a step above Tsushima in a lot of ways, and I still agree with that. Nearly 50 hours later, I think in 90% of the areas, this is just a really, really good sequel to Tsushima, which was also a great game at the time. I think Atsu's story is like really emotional and has good emotional beats, and it's just better written overall as Jin's story at the end of the day. I think combat vastly improved. I go back and forth honestly on how I feel about this Tsushima having the stance types and then this game just having different weapons. For a little while there, probably like halfway through the game, I was kind of like annoyed by the different weapons in this game, but by the end of the game, I did really like using a lot of the different weapons, even if my favorite weapon was the dual katana, and it's like I would have just preferred to be able to use the dual katana the whole time, but because they take the stances out of it, it's like you use the dual katana, there's like 4 to 5 enemy types that you're fighting that you're just at a complete disadvantage when you're using it. So like that obviously isn't great, whereas in Tsushima you only had the one weapon, so as long as you had your stance right, you could always use that weapon. I still think that the open world's great. Like I got slightly bored near the end of it, not bored, but kind of burnt out near the end of it of doing similar stuff over and over again. Not to the level of Tsushima because they scaled like the Fox Shrine and stuff back, but a lot of the stuff in Tsushima is just back again. You have the bamboo strikes, you have the Fox Shrines, you have the climbable shrines. Like a lot of that is back, so it's like if you're someone who plays Tsushima in recent years, like it's been 5 years for me, so it didn't feel as fresh, but it still felt a little bit there. Like I could still feel like I just did this, even though it's been 5 years. If you're someone who's played Tsushima super recently, it could lead to a little bit of burnout because there's not a lot of new open world activities to do. There's a few, but they're not crazy different. I would say one big con for me is they scaled back the enemy camps a lot. I think I was reading that, which sounds crazy, but I
Yeah.
think I was reading that Tsushima had 51. It's a lot. It has
That's
51,
ridiculous.
and this game has 22. I want to say I read, which is like I would have taken like I would have taken more camps personally and less bounties because bounties one thing where it's like there's 30 bounties in this game, and they start off really cool, but as I started to do more, it kind of felt like if anyone's played Assassin's Creed, especially recent Assassin's Creeds, those type of like go get this target. It was very similar to that style of bounty where I thought there would be more of like you have a little bit of story, then you have a cool like duel. Where a lot of these bounties you don't have like a duel with them, you can literally just kill them super fast. Like they're just like any other enemy. So I thought that was a little strange. But going back to the camps, it was weird how if you remember in Tsushima, when you cleared a camp, your map would like unfog a lot. Like that was one of the big pros of when you clear a camp in that game, your map would get the fog would spread out, would go away in a huge area. In this game, they took that quality of life feature away, which is weird to me because a lot of the other game has plenty of great quality of life features. So I don't know if they just didn't think about it, if they just genuinely forgot, or what their decision making was there. So that was just an annoying part. But rating wise, I would give this game an 8.5. I think it's a great game. I just enjoyed it overall. I had a fun 47 hours with it. There was very small, like limited times where I was like either burnt out or bored or didn't like what they were doing with the story. For the most part, I think this is just a really good game. I think it steps up from Tsushima a lot. Shout out Sucker Punch. I think they're getting better with every game they make, and it was just fun. And at the end of the day, if your video game is fun, I'm going to enjoy it.
How did you feel about the map in this game compared to Tsushima? Like variety, kind of the zones, how it's structured.
It's structured in a way similar to Tsushima, but not exactly. Like you still have zones in this game, which is how I prefer my open world game nowadays. Like I'm kind of over just throwing me out there and everything's connected and it's one big open world. I like separating things from zones. There's not a lot of variety, honestly. There's I think 6 zones total in this game, and I would say 3 are different than the other 3. Like the 3 main ones feel kind of similar, then you have one that feels a little different and another different one, but there's not like huge variety when it comes to the zones, which I guess is a little disappointing. But each area has like their own enemy types and their own certain way the enemies attack and all that. So that does add the variety. It's just from the actual look and the aesthetic, the zones don't get crazy variety. I thought the map was a good size. Like I think they said it was around Tsushima size. It feels that way. I didn't think it was ever too big. I think this one, maybe I'm just misremembering Tsushima. I think because they added a lot less open world activities, there was multiple times in this game where I was kind of just going from point A to point B, and I didn't run into a lot of new stuff. It was kind of like a dead zone between my next objective, which I thought was a little weird. But overall, I really enjoyed the map, and like I said, I prefer the zone open world stuff now. I think that's the perfect open world formula. So like, I don't have any major complaints with how the open world or the map was. Other than I will say, there's a late game zone in this game that's very similar to late game Tsushima, and that was my least favorite part in Tsushima and my least favorite part in this. And I was kind of upset that in both games they put the same zone like late game, and that kind of annoyed me.
Is it a difficulty thing or is it like just
No, for
design wise?
it's very much. I don't want to say the biome unless you guys don't care, but it's a biome I don't really like in gaming for the most part, anyways. And then
I know
they
what
took
it is.
yeah they took tropes from Tsushima, like certain tropes with the enemy and stuff, and they just genuinely put them back into this exact same biome. And I don't know. I haven't seen many people talk about it, but it's like you're literally doing almost. It's a different story, obviously, but the way the enemies are attacking you, the way they introduce a new thing, it's like all of this happened in Tsushima at this exact same time. It just felt weird that they did it again.
That's so interesting to me, Fusion, because that was my favorite biome in Tsushima.
Okay, well,
You gotta remember, I'm a Texas boy, man. Yeah, that's all. That kind of teases it. But yeah, and I don't know. I'm
Well, yeah, I
curious
guess.
by what your review in general. I mean, I think I'm gonna share probably the same thoughts with you. But I think I remember you saying it's like, oh, I'm glad they're kind of going for less is more with this sequel compared to Tsushima, which you felt was kind of bloated with like Fox Shrines and all the like. And I'm curious, like, do you think like overall they achieved that?
Yeah, I do think they did. I think, like I said, there's I think 10 total of those Fox Shrines in this game. Tsushima probably had 40. I don't know the actual number, but
Oh,
like
okay.
there's a lot less open world activities, which like some people like I've seen on Reddit. I go to the Ghost Reddit a lot just to hear what people are thinking. And a lot of people are upset like this game doesn't have New Game Plus right now, so it's like you could do a lot of the open world activities, and because of the lesser camp amounts, there's not a lot of just fighting to do in the open world. So if you kill everyone, if you clear out the camps, and you have some trophies left at the end where it's like you have to do this, this, this in combat, you actually it's gonna be a struggle to seek out those enemies and fight them because there's no way to like reroll camps. There's no way. So I could see some people be like, there wasn't enough. But to me, in a similar way with Spider-Man 2 compared to Spider-Man, how like I know you don't like how in Spider-Man 2 it feels like there's way less open world activities, but I preferred it that way because I want whatever you're giving me to just be more quality. And I feel like the quality of the open world activities in this game are better than Tsushima, so I'm fine with them scaling it down.
That's interesting. I'm very curious to jump into this. Bench, did you have anything you wanted to say about this game?
Honestly, I haven't played it since Pokemon dropped, but I'm continuing to enjoy. I'm only 12 hours in for like a 50 to 60 hour open world game, so I still feel like I'm pretty early on, but I'm enjoying it and hyped to jump back in later today.
I think
Makes
I will
sense.
say side stories is where this game comes down a lot to me compared to Tsushima. That's one
Oh,
of the
wow.
very few spots where like I don't know if you guys remember Tsushima, it felt like
Yes.
every side story in that game was like multiple chapters long. Like they went for a while. You could learn the names of these characters. These side characters were super important. They always had like a cool flash screen. This game, it feels like the side stories. I almost compared it to Red Dead Redemption 2, where a lot of the side stories, not the stranger missions, because the stranger missions in Red Dead usually had like multiple, but like I don't know if you remember like the side activity stuff where you would just run into someone random and they would give you like a little
Mhm.
side quest thing. That feels like a lot of side stuff in Yote, where it's like there's very few that have a couple branches to them. But for the most part, you meet one dude, you meet one girl, you do one thing for them, you come back, very fetch quest like I would say, and then it's done. You never see that person again. You'll never remember their name, and you move on.
I'm very interested. Uh, I want to jump into this soon. I've been slow. The first big Sony first party game I didn't buy day one. Oh
I
wait,
know that's
no,
kind of crazy. That is crazy.
I've been a lot on my plate, but I'm very excited to
But
jump back. I'm excited to jump into this. It looks awesome.
I'm very interested at the end of the year to hear how many people like because obviously both PlayStation games. I think this is going to get directly compared to Death Stranding 2, both sequels, both PlayStation games. I'm very interested to hear how those conversations go at the end of the year.
How do you feel about the two? Which one would you prefer?
I I think I prefer Yote, but it's not by like a huge margin. Like I think Yote
Gotcha.
I think Yote at the end of the day was more fun to play, and I think that's really what it comes down. I think it's more fun to play. I think it does have better writing. Where like you know my take on Death Stranding 2 and some of the writing,
Yeah.
and so I think at the end of the day I do prefer Yote, but it's like they're both very good games.
Was that the same with Death Stranding 1 and Ghost of Tsushima?
That's a good question, actually. I've not really thought about it. I think,
I mean, they're completely different games, but I'm
yeah,
just
and
curious.
actually, I might prefer Death Stranding actually over Ghost of Tsushima, surprisingly. But again, they would both be very similar. I think the difference is I think Death Stranding 2 isn't a drastic jump from Tsushima, from Death Stranding 1, where in my opinion Yote is such a big leap from Tsushima. So it's like I think Ghost of Yote feels like a more quality game over Tsushima, where like Death Stranding 2, I had multiple things, and Death Stranding 1 that I preferred.
Yeah, well, hopefully, I'm very curious to see how this game does in Game of the Year talks, especially Game Awards if it gets nominated, all that, because it does sound like it is.
To be fair, I don't think it will.
Oh, you
I don't
know?
think it will get nominated. No, I think Death Stranding 2 is still a better nomination than this.
Well, we will see by end of year. We're closing it. It's ridiculous, man. 3 months, and I still, or 2.5 months at this point. We're at the end of October, which is psychotic to say out loud.
Like we're next week it's November, and then the Game Awards is early December. We're like 5 weeks from the Game Awards. It's like
Yep.
kind of crazy.
And we do our show early January, so
Yes.
I'm fucked. I don't know if I have enough time to play through all the stuff I really wanted to play through. Too busy watching Michael Mann movies. gotta stop, man. But yeah, seems like there's a lot of stuff coming out, and I think we're gonna try to get through it by the end of the year. And we're gonna talk about those games because that's the Slice of Gaming podcast every single Friday, Saturday, give or take. We get in all about the news, talk about the games we're playing, all that good stuff. I think we're ready to head on out of here. If you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Like the podcast, helps us out a ton. Follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. But with that, I think we're done. Say good night, everybody.
Good
Have a
night,
good-
good morning, good afternoon.
Good evening.
Gaming.